Hey all, this is Val here with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. In this video, it's going to be round 2 for our good friend Rona. If you'll remember, I created the greatest build ever known to man for Rona in the previous video. But we all felt, just universally in comments, in Discord, everywhere, everyone's like, dude, you cannot release this build. You have to do a second one, and we need to forget the first one ever happened. So because you guys found her so OP the first time around, I really had to tone her down. We all know that is a flat out lie, and that was the worst build ever seen by anyone ever. I have no idea what I was thinking.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So we need to do her justice. I can happily say I've accomplished 2 goals here. One, I've given her a thumbs up, like straight up thumbs up. And I'm going to tell you why. It's very interesting how this happened. And I actually took some comments from my other videos. I took some comments from the Rona video. I thought about it. I number crunched it. I tested it. And I'm super happy with Rona. Rona is a great investment. In Elder Drake, I haven't tested her yet in SW, but I'm sure she's going to work great there. I did Elder Drake for 2 reasons. One, she doesn't have elemental advantage, so her numbers aren't going to be like crazy. But 2 is everyone has been saying, Val, do you have a pre-flight team? Val, do you have a pre-flight team? I can say I have a consistent pre-flight team thanks to her, and I dumped Sigrun. So let's talk a little bit about that as we look at these numbers. Let me pull up so you can see my last run. I wish I'd recorded them. We're going to do a few more just to show you how this goes. But what you're not seeing here, even though her numbers aren't spectacular, is look at the time. This was cleared in 1:47. He did take off on this one, but he died very shortly after an air. I mean, he was maybe up for half a second, and then he died. The interesting thing here is this is faster than when I run Rona and her pre-flight team. The boss typically goes down at about 145 when my Rona team clicks. So you have like a 148, 149-ish clear, sometimes 150, depending on how long he's in the air. Now, the super interesting thing about that is Sigrun pulls about 950, 960k damage in those runs. So I mean, waves are dying like this. They just wave spawn and die. The time really is spent, DPS in the boss down. The interesting thing here is we lose that damage, right? So we lose that ability to clear waves quickly, and we're still beating the timer with just putting Rona in. So basically, if you guys have like played any of the older Mario Kart games or any old racers in general, they had a ghost mode. Basically, where you're racing against your ghost, you can see your little outline of your car to try to get a faster time than your last one. So my ghost mode is Sigrun at 1:45 when the boss dies, and that's crazy damage. 950k damage is crazy. Like if you look at all the numbers here, she's basically doing the damage of everyone in one when I run that team. But with just putting Rona in, you got a 50% buff that can happen to one attack. And you've got her armor pin, which really isn't super great. You can see here she's doing a little less damage than Snake Lady, a little less than half the damage of Monis. But we're still clearing it. That tells you how big that buff is with just this one change. Now, let's get out of here. We are going to do runs, but let's look at the gear, because I think it's important to see how my mindset changed when I rebuilt her. So let's go to Rona. And then we're going to pull up gear. All right. As you can see, I did stick with warding. I did replace these 2 pieces, but this had the best bang for my buck here. I went warding adept. So my thought process was, I'm not really going to focus on this. I was going to focus on this, because if you look here, and again, game off, guys, this details button is so key. We can see that this is attack base, and then all her others are defense based damage. I mean, if we didn't have this, then we would really have no way to know that this is an attack base. Well, I guess we would because it doesn't have any other and it's damaged, so attack would be it. But to see it here, to see the actual numbers is just amazing. It really is. I mean, everybody needs this. Gameville, they really do. But anyway, so I was going to capitalize more on this since it's attack based. So I went attack, crit rate, attack. Now you can go attack, attack, attack because you know you might not bank on crit rate, and that might actually work better here. The reason why that might work better is look at my crit damage. I'm only pulling 57% more damage when she crits. Don't get me wrong, that's still 57%, right? So it is still good. But if you can get this number, if you can get this up higher, she's gonna probably do a lot better. I wanted desperately to go mortal. I really, really want to go mortal, but I didn't have the mortal gear. I couldn't make it work. I gotta farm SW some more and get because mortal I use everywhere. You guys know that. You've seen my builds. You know I love it. Now, if you look at her gear again, I haven't even put her at top performance. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This isn't the greatest gear. So you know it's not the gear that's doing it. This just means what we saw previously is just going to get better. She's going to do more damage. She's gonna. I mean, it's all good news. Rona, I have redeemed myself in Rona's eyes. So, oh my God, did you guys just see this? Did you just see that? Let's look at that again. Let's look at. Oh my goodness. Let's look at it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Stay on target.
Okay, it showed it, but what I'm tripping out is because I just re-geared her for this video, and laundry day was coming up. I didn't see when it was, but oh my gosh. Isn't that always the way? But anyway, we needed to redeem Rona. The money I paid to remove her gear and re-equip her is penance for how I made her look like absolute garbage. But you saw my build, you saw the crappy gear, you saw the initial numbers. Let's take a look at her in ED10 so you guys can enjoy it. All right, and we're off. We'll target her. Now, when you look at her numbers, I saw a 6K crit on her skill 3. You're going to note it, like, this is nothing. Like, this is going to go up. You see her hitting for 600 here, but you got to consider she has a slot attack shoulder that's only doing 8%. That's a 6-star. So that's going to go up to 60% more damage. Plus, she has another attack slot that isn't even, I think it's 9. So she's going to get more and more damage, and these numbers are going to get bigger. So what you're looking at, they're decent numbers. They're decent, but they're going to get ridiculous as I level up her gear. So the point is, though, she's still redeemed. Like, just the fact, if you look at my Sig Run team, that she beats with Sig Run pulling 950k damage, and all I did was replace her, that tells you just how much her stacking buff gives you. Now, I want to address something else. One of the people in my previous video, actually for Caroline, I think, no, for Rona, mentioned that you could use her in Arena, then when you have the 50% buff, nuke with the new bomber, right? Or with any of your nukers, right? Whether it be a Blade Master, a Water Monkey King, whatever you may be using to penetrate shields and to do big damage in Arena. So the problem with that is if you take a look at the UI, you take a look at all the buffs, you have absolutely no way of seeing what happens, right? You can't see that stacking buff, so you don't know when to nuke. Now look at this. This was even quicker. 1:43. This has been consistent. I've only done 3 runs, and all of them have been before he's taken off. Let's look at the numbers. All right, look at that. I mean, she's basically making everyone equally better. Now, here's the thing. Keep in mind, all the enemies on the board have the same amount of HP every time you run it, right? So your numbers really are always going to be the same. Of course, minus some overkills, but you're really not going to see huge damage numbers. What you are going to see is quicker runs. And I'm going to give it up to Donald Dump, who actually made that comment in my video. And your boy Val wasn't even thinking of that. Let's just be honest. That was something that I should have really figured in the first video, even though the first video was terrible. I mean, the build was horrible. It just didn't work, okay? But here, you know, knowing what Donald told me, thank you, Donald, for that clarification and making sure I understood that. I appreciate the time you took, my friend. But knowing that, so what I started to look for, I looked at the build and said, how do I maximize this, right? So Adept obviously was the first thing that came to mind. You guys know I don't like running Adept because it is the easy button with a lot of champions. But it made sense with this one, especially because I wanted to take advantage of skill 3, which is the longer cooldown at 26 seconds. I also knew I was going to stack attack. I also knew I was going to stack crit because her passive is just helping everyone out. Like, you know, I say, because she's attacking and she gives that buff just out naturally as she attacks, right? I know she has to execute an action, but I say a passive because she's going to attack. You have auto attack. It's on auto attack. It's going to happen, right? So that's why I call it a passive, but technically it's not because you have to use a skill to make it happen. Anyway, so looking at that, I went back, I rebuilt her, and look at this time. And she beats my Sig Run team, hands down. She makes this consistent pre-flight team. She makes this a faster kill team, and it's just like all I did was put her in. And Sig Run's a great DPS unit. Sig Run, you watch her, she putting in work. I mean, she is putting in work. But the thing is, and the key here is she's doing it by herself. When I run a Sig Run team, she is my main source of damage. I have the OGD to try to tick down the boss before he takes off, but if Sig Run, you know, she doesn't get the good crits or whatever, it's just not going to happen. That's why my pre-fight team with her was inconsistent. With this, Rona says, I am not going to be the solo hero that Sig Run is, but I'm going to make all of us better. That is the difference. All of them together, working as a team that synergize well together, everybody's skills work good together, gives us a quicker run than when we run it with Sig Run. So that's why you're seeing the consistency now you're seeing. So what does this mean? How does this change the initial review? Well, one, the initial review was garbage. Let's all forget it happened. I don't know what I was thinking on that build. I was thinking more focusing on just that and not really looking at her damage as a single unit. I wasn't considering how all her other skills, everyone else's abilities in a team can interact with her, and it was just terrible. I just saw her numbers were garbage. The team was slower. The runs actually were inconsistent. You didn't see that part of it, but the runs were, I would say, about like 90-95%. This so far, I know it's only 3 test runs, has been 1, a pre-flight team every single run, 2, consistent, and there's really been no big trouble. We did lose Monis in that last one, but RNG is going to be RNG. Would I 6-star her now is the question. I absolutely, without a doubt, seeing her help everyone, 6-star her. Would I build the dark one if I had? Because the dark one basically is her, but better. Yes, I would build the dark one without a question. She definitely has a place in speed teams. For those of you looking to improve your times, this could be the secret sauce that you're looking for to help you out. Because again, you can clearly see my numbers here versus my last video, versus all my videos where I've run teams to try and clear ED fast. All I did was add Rona. That's it. I just added Rona. I geared her a lot better. I gave her more damage, and she's just performing perfectly well.
Have a nice day. Yeah!
I really like her. I am finally glad that for this change, because as everyone who's been watching me for a while knows, I've been dying to build her because she just looks cool. I hate the cape though. Hate the cape. Cape is ridiculous. I mean,
no capes.
But other cape aside, I love the way she looks. Now I have utility and looks all in one. So all in all, I really rate this unit highly. If you have room for it, if you're looking to improve your speed team, she is definitely it. You saw her here. She performed very well in ED10. The same would hold true if you brought her into SW. She's just going to make everything more consistent by helping the whole team out. So when you build her, look at your whole team, look at who you're bringing, see how she improves it, look at the entire team synergy. Anyway, all, thank you for watching. I appreciate you coming back and watching me redeem Rona because she is really a great unit. I did not do her justice in the previous build, but in this one, you can clearly see we made a huge improvement. If I missed something else, which is possible, never be afraid to post in comments down below if I've missed something, because, hey, I'm only human. I don't know everything about it, and I really appreciate when people take the time to point out something that I have missed, because that encourages good communication within the community, which is always key. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, made you laugh, you had a good time, you cried because I did such a good job, go ahead, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. Drop some comments if you think I missed anything. And as always, all you dudes and dudettes out there, stay frosty.